Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein in the Road 100, where today we are going to finish out the cathedral. As you can see, we have to get up and get the other key, the ornate key, and then we will be on our way to Aurora. Now, the last send that we did yesterday, we ran this entire code again, here with Swift Destruction and everything, and so now we are just trying to get through, as we are unable to take more than one hit from any one enemy. So this time we will be kind of at a disadvantage, because we will be needing to make sure that we actually are trying to single out the enemies along the way, and we should be able to do that just because of the fact that we are able to actually because we're actually able to run oh my goodness, hang on. Sorry, that is just okay. And so here we're dead. I was gonna say, as we start to entertain the idea that we run forward, we can actually try and get to a point where we can single out enemies one at a time to make sure that everything is happening in a way that we are controlling the battlefield. However, the reality is here that we are unable to, with these enemies, because of the teleports and such, we are unable to actually get to a point where we can force them to do what we want them to do along the way. And so here, as you can see, we can go for one enemy and at a time here, and we're getting ganged up here by both of them. Okay, we got to make sure that we do not allow them to get the upper hand here, and we'll hopefully be able to wipe them out quickly and easily. Good. And as you'll notice, Volatile Storm and Homing Hellfire, these are not really necessary for right now because of what we're going for. So we'll switch to Blast Bolt, and let's see, probably Plasma Roar would be better, or Aurora Flash, either one. I mean, we could go for Aurora Flash since we have the ability to go for a bunch of Dark Gifts here. This will give us range and everything here along the way. And as you see, just switching up those gifts just a little bit there, we are able to annihilate these folks pretty quickly, pretty easily along the way here. So that's sometimes what it takes in Vein, is to switch things up just a little bit. And especially when you are solo, don't try and force something to be what it isn't or what it shouldn't be, because there is always a very good option, usually right around the corner. And as you can see, if we are able to use something like Blast Bolt or Jupiter's Blade or Aurora Flash in quick succession right behind each other, we are able to truly smash and crush wherever we need to along the way, just because of the fact that we have gifts that can chain off of the back of each other here. And so we are able to do some pretty good damage along the way. Okay. Okay, and we hit the dead zone of the gift there, so that is super unfortunate. Now this lady is active before we want to be. Okay, so we definitely need some stamina. Okay, and now we need some health. And she's going to attempt to rock our world here. Okay, whoa. I did not expect that at all. Couldn't actually tell where she was. Okay. But as you can see, we have a much higher chance of survival than we did yesterday, just because of the fact that we are able to take on enemies more of a one at a time kind of a setup here. So we are able to make sure that we can traverse a little bit freer along the way here. However, we still have a lot of shortcomings because of our inability to defend ourselves, but that is the cost of quick mobility. And if we were going for something other than quick mobility, we would truly have, and if we could actually hit our parries in time. And if we had blades that didn't have dead zones right in front of them. So kind of unfortunate there. But this entire setup here, if we do go for something with a little more defense, we will obviously lose out on quick mobility. However, we will have entirely huge defenses comparatively, and we will have incredible drain recovery. And so this can be a way that you just need to switch things up when you are running solo, because the idea that don't get hit, you know, that falls apart very quickly, because of the fact that if you're not getting hit, then you're talking about doing solo no-hit runs, which are near impossible. I'm not going to say they are impossible, but they are very, very near impossible, and so it makes no sense to have that understanding running into this kind of setup that you will actually run a no-hit scenario. That makes no sense at all. So sometimes just switching the one or two things in your build that you have access to, sometimes that can be all you need. As you can see there, we are able to truly survive everything that this fine specimen has to attack in the the famous 4-hit combo, and that is all because of the fact that we are able to have higher slash resistance rather than basically 0. So going for the Venus Claw is exciting because it does exceptionally high damage. However, the reality is that we can't survive pretty much anything we go for. So sometimes that is the most beneficial that we can go for, is to make sure that we have things that we can survive here along the way. And as you can see, we take one hit and we're okay to heal up a little bit, and it doesn't completely take us down like 2,000 or 3,000 damage, but it was about 1,500 damage every hit, and that can be fatal, except for the 3-hit combo that is about 700 to 800 damage a hit. So we can take about 3 or 4 of those hits before we truly need some help. And as you can see here, we are still on that struggle bus for our stamina here along the way, so that is definitely a problem. Okay. Oh, hopefully. Oh, nope. Still haven't hit the launch. There we go. There we go. And so now we have the ability here to take them down with some nice gifting. Okay, so now let's go for this enemy, and then it will teleport. We can parry that, and then we can go for some more damage here. As you can see, it really doesn't matter what the enemy is doing, because we are able to destroy these enemies with a quick succession of fast gifting along the way. And as you can see, we have enough Ichor in our backstabs and such, and our weapon attacks to ensure the fact that we always are topped up on Ichor. So that can be a serious problem when you are playing solo, is that you need different special ways to ensure that you are getting the most maximum possible benefit out of each and every one of your gifts along the way. Now, it might be tempting to actually rest here because you want to top off on Ichor, on healing, on your HP, everything, but it will reset the area, which is not what we want at this point, because as soon as we get the Ornate Key, we do not want those enemies to be around us again, and so we want to make sure that they stay dead, and hopefully we can do this as is for the moment. And let's get this enemy to see us, the teleport. Now that is manipulated because as soon as you open the door, if you show your hand, the enemy will teleport right away. It is absolutely guaranteed every single time. So important there that we go for that. And this enemy will be the same. As soon as you see it, it will teleport as well. And, well, not there in front of the door, but if you see it from a distance, it will teleport immediately. So you can kind of manipulate that if you want to as well. And again, you can see that we have tons and tons and tons of Ichor here. So we are never in danger of any kind of Ichor reasoning. And you can see that down there is the invasion. So if you do happen to fall down, you want to have that invasion done before you head over this way to make sure that you have a open road. If you do fall down, there's only one enemy instead of like 15. So we've got the Ornate Key, and now we are on our way to the door and Aurora. So that is sometimes what it takes here is to simply just change up one or two things about your build, about whatever you have running, and things can turn around and change significantly for the better, all things considered with what you are going for. So versus Aurora Phase 1, we do have the chance here to actually go for a one cycle, and that one cycle means that we go through Phase 1 and Phase 2 without getting hit, number 1, and number 2 without running out of Final Journey. Now, 60 seconds is a lot to ask for, so we will see here if we can be successful. If we are not successful in Phase 1, then we will reset and head back for Phase 2, or for Phase 1 and Phase 2, because it would be nice if we can get the 60 seconds for Final Journey. However, the cutscenes do eat into our Final Journey gifting, so we will not go for Final Journey until we are into the fight, because that will reset for the area. Okay, so and we have our mobility enhancers and our charge boosters. Those are exceptionally important to make sure that those are at top. Those are at top level all the time to make sure that we are going for everything we need to be going for. Okay, and as you see there, we are indeed going to be having some difficulty here, just because of the fact that we don't want to be spending our gifts immediately. We want to kind of charge up to that level. So as we run over here, she's going to do... Okay, that's fine. So we'll go for a charge attack here. Okay, we'll go for another charge attack. She will stagger. And she will stagger again. Okay, there's Phase 1. Oh, I didn't get Final Journey off. So that is most unfortunate there. So we'll go for Final Journey immediately. Okay, let's go. Okay. And now we will go for our charge attacks here. Okay, good. Let's go for the mobility enhancer. And easy as that. That is Aurora. In solo mode, this is the best possible way to dispatch of her, just because of the fact that the pillars have their increased damage. So I'm very, very pleased with that kill, that we're able to actually do the one cycle. Very, very good, because it saves a whole lot of time, number 1. And number 2, it's awesome to see that when you've been through the game at least once, you have pretty much everything you need. And this is all pretty base game, except for Dexterity and Mind Up and the Daybreak Thunderfang. However, if you don't have that, you can switch for the Noble Silver, and here you all you need is pretty much whatever else you want here. You could go for a Strength and Dex, as that would give you a little more damage here, or you could go for something else. The difference being here is that you would have to go for at least some kind of mind, just because of the fact that you need a B+ for Bridge to Glory. If you don't have a B+, you can do some kind of mind thing and then switch it back, like do Bridge to Glory and then switch this to Strength and Dex up, get that extra damage, as well as having Bridge to Glory along the way, because you will need a little bit of extra damage there to make sure that you're making up for the that you're making up for the loss in light value here from Bridge to Glory. So as you can see, 1568 to 1381, so you're losing about 90 damage if you go for the Noble Silver. And if you look here, Strength and Dex, 39 damage, so you're losing out on about 50 damage or so, which is pretty comparable. So however, the Daybreak Thunderfang version is obviously the stronger one because it is a higher number. So all things considered, it's pretty interesting how this entire setup works out here, but it's important to get through phase 1 fast to make sure that you have enough Ichor along the way, to make sure that you have enough for Final Journey before phase 2 starts. Unfortunately, I did not get the ability to activate Final Journey there before phase 2 started, but that's okay. It worked out in the end. Now you do want to dodge those laser beams, obviously, from Aurora. Otherwise, you will be toast instantaneously. They will kill you. It is a one-shot here on max difficulty, and unfortunate if you do get hit by it. So, anyways, that's Aurora and kind of the end of the Cathedral here. A good setup here for ending Aurora quickly. We didn't actually get to use Blood and Frost Weapon. These are for phase 1 because those are... whoa. Where did the screen go? Because these are the ability here to get an extra 40% damage on her since she has no resistances, and the fight is fast enough that these will be over by phase 2, so they won't add to your resistances in phase 2. At least that's what they should. And you can use Blood Sacrifice to actually get yourself all of these running before you actually engage in the fight. However, these two are for phase 1 only, and the rest of them are for phase 1 and 2. And so if you are going for this kind of a setup, it is kind of tricky, and it does take some time to understand what are the attack timings to make sure that she's staggering from the pillars, especially with ranged impact active. Very, very important to be running this because of the 50% increase to your pillar damage. That will help you significantly to stagger her on demand with the pillars. So very, very important there. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week for the Road 100. And you guys take care, and thank you so much for sticking around. It's been a blast running the Cathedral here, doing it solo, and some of these things you just have to kind of figure out on your own, but never fear, that's why we're here, to help you guys understand some of the solo ideas and identities of what the game has to offer. So anyways, we'll see you guys later. Take care.